A chariot bore me as far as my heart desired, urging me upon the way of the goddess that leads wise men from town to town. On that way I was hauled by trusty horses, hitched to a chariot, and driven by maidens. Its axle glowed fiery red in their hubs, heated by spinning wheels at each end, both emitting sounds of panpipes, while the daughters of the sun, wishing to transport me into the light, tossed aside veils from their faces as we left night's abode. Before me were the gates between night and day above a lintel. A threshold of stone below, huge doors rose high in the air, their keys in the hands of vengeful justice. My maids pleaded with him using gentle words, hoping to persuade him to unlock the giant bolts on these cloud-lined gates. And they opened slowly, one after the other, on bronze posts covered with cast-iron rivets and nails, to reveal beyond a broad and unending expanse. Through them, we passed on a wide avenue under the whip of my guides, horses galloping, chariot rumbling, as we approach the goddess. She greeted me kindly, and took my right hand in hers, before uttering these undying words. "Welcome, young man, you who come to my abode, on a chariot driven by immortal maidens. It's no ill luck, but truth and justice who urge you to travel on this way. It lies a great distance from the beaten track of ordinary men. You must now learn many new things, and crack open the shell of truth well concealed, so that men's opinions might best be understood as no true belief at all. You will learn fresh things also, that by entering them you will discover how illusory some are, others fortified by the pure actuality of thought. Don't be afraid from engaging in inquiry, nor let familiarity blind your gaze through the voice of gossip by the tongue or ear. Listen to well-argued proofs uttered by me. Only one way can be fruitfully discussed. With the aid of your thoughts, look seriously at distant forms, as if they were close at hand. Never sever what is remaining true to what is. Resist allowing it to be scattered abroad as its opposite, what isn't. Illusion is the nature of being when widely dispersed. Where I begin is all one to me, and I will return again and again to this refrain. Listen, and I will tell you. What I say must be stored in your mind and never forgotten. Thinking and being are one and the same. It is, can never be confused with non-being, for such is truth, your constant companion. What is not can never be, not now or in the future. However much you might wander down various pathways, hoping to distance yourself from the unity of one. Remember, what is not cannot be known, nor can it be properly uttered. Impossible. It's a contradiction, a two-headed beast, befitting a confused mind, amazing everyone, for whom being and non-being are thought of as the same, an entrance to a blind alley. Try to prevent yourself from journeying down this barren road. Know that what can be spoken about and thought of is, rather than nothing, that bland celebration of the simple properties of existence. This is what you must think about before you wander afar, spouting everyday opinions to all and sundry as if the contingent was real. The average person believes that what is and what is not are real distinctions, when they're no more than flotsam on a beach. Impossible to prove. Things that aren't are, when they clearly partake of falsity. Don't even think about it when you consider which fork in the road you need to take. There is only one path to reconnoiter, namely, that is. On this, there are signs apparently to indicate that being is indestructible, ungenerated, of all wholeness, immovable, and without end. Nor was it ever, nor will it be, since it's always and forever is. What beginning are you looking for? What origin? What source that might suggest that it can actually grow? I'll not allow you to think it emerged from what is not. If it's not sayable or thinkable, then surely it must remain in the domain of falsity only. And what need would have impelled it, then or later, to actually grow? If its origin lies in nothing, either it must be in wholeness, or not at all, nor will truth's adore allow anything to compete with its being, least of all what is not. Justice simply refuses to release its hold upon things, so that they might pass away or come into being, not at all. A decision in these matters lies in it is or it is not. It is has been decided, and the other path of non-being, but a nameless chimera that leads nowhere, rocky and uncertain. The true path leads to the imperishable nature of what is, unbecoming, a beacon that defines the darkness of non-being, since it's never came to be in the first place. Therefore, to die or be born are questions that can't be asked, nor can it be divided, since it's all of a likeness. There's no more of it in one place than another to prevent it from holding together, nor less of it embodying fullness of what is, as it does, an ongoing cohesive whole drawn by itself into the one that is of itself, an empty bolus of unmitigated essence. Mighty chains bind it to its unbeginning and to its unceasing, since birth and death have been driven to a far place by truth, and so banished as states that can't exist. Always it's the same, and rests in its sameness, alone, a constant, at the mercy of necessity, hemming at it tightly within the bonds of limit. Nor is it able to partake of the infinite, of the incomplete, as it is need of nothing, forever existing as it does, without lack. Thinking, and what promotes that thought, is. Without what is, and its utterance, there can be no thought, not even a whimsy. Nothing is, or ever will be, in the wake of being, enchained as it is by destiny to wholeness and a pure state of the inert. All things are no more than names we attribute as truthful, coming into being or perishing, being and not being, even changing from one place to another. Bright colors merging into dullness is little more than a perception, unreal. The one is empowered by limit, complete on all sides, like the content of a sphere, rounded, equipoised, neither larger nor smaller, reacting in all directions, equally, and violet, perfectly attuned to uniform within limit. At this point, I cease my argument about thought and speech as the essence of truth, and I ask you to listen to how deceitful I can be when it comes to arranging my words. Two concepts men have chosen to announce, of which one should never have been named, because it leads away from truth. Opposing one concept over another as a distinction has led to the light of dawn in all its softness, being contrasted to darkness as a compact, heavy mass. This is appearance only, which you accept so that you are not deceived. But it's false, because what seems to be can never be overshadowed. The claims of truth, given that all things share light and darkness equally, one as real as the next. Know that the sky, with all its signs, including the pure flame of the sun, is a familiar sight. Do you not learn to recognize the moon's nightly peregrinations, its round face and sly crescents? What is it made of? Of course, the goddess necessity binds them together. The earth, stars, moon and sky, the Milky Way and Olympus' grave slopes, are all one, resplendent whole, a part of the sphere's foundation and limit. Unmixed, fire's slender rings proximate to night offers up its portion of light, yet can't dispense with iron's configuration or the miracle of the moon. These are needful of the sun's rays, since the goddess directs their heavenly course with the wand of love and the labor of birth, fed as it is by the embrace of man and woman, Eros, her firstborn, and the unending firmament. Shining by night with borrowed light, does the moon wander about the earth, always indebted to the sun's rays. Just as thought blends with men's misbehaving limbs, know that it is the whole body thinking in every one of us, since thought is regal, the very substance of all our mortal coils. Depending on how much light or darkness exists in our bodies, so do we embody the wisdom or its foolish opponent, pretentious opinion. When man and woman blend their love seed, an energy is unleashed in the body as blood intermingles and becomes one. If this power is right, then strong, well-built torsos result. If wrong, if the power of one blood fights for supremacy, trouble will arise, and not right for someone to be born from twin seeds. Mark well, all this is merely opinion that formulates and grows, then fades away as a mature thought intervenes. And yet, at some point, each was given a name, as if it partook in the very bliss of being.